Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 15 Good Minutes. It's your guy, Coach B. JR, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing fine, man. Just trying to deal with this weather. I don't know if it's going to rain and the sun going to come out. I don't know what the heck is up, man.
I saw something earlier today that said, I think it was Top or Shut on WUSA 9. It says more like March here than May. Freddie, what's going on in Texas, man? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm counting down this time 2 weeks from now.
Big trip coming?
How you doing, man?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm doing good, man. The missus is in Florida this week. You know, I've been trying to find my way around the house. Fun fact, I don't clean up nothing or wash a dish until the day before she comes back. I'm going to tell that just stays right here between the three of us and those watching. I'm sure she's aware of it because everything's wet when she gets home. But I just find another dish. I got stuff stacked up in the sink right now. I'm just going between games, PlayStation, a little bit of editing, you know. It's what I do. It's good for her to get away. You know, her first trip since since she retired. So her and another girlfriend of hers, they're in I believe it's St. Augustine, Florida. You know, hanging out. So yeah, it's quiet. You know, but good. Other than that, man, watching a lot of sports, man. You know, where I can. And there's some good news on the sports front. You know, like today, Joel Embiid was named the MVP. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. It just came out. I'm going to start with you, JR. I think he's coming second to Joker the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. He finally won it. Are you good with him coming in first place for it this year?
Yeah, I am. Because, I mean, his body of work throughout the year when he's not injured is,
injured right now, by the way.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think he helped his team to be, to get where they are.
Freddie, was he your, if you had a vote, you know what I'm saying? Would he have been the guy that got it for you?
Probably. I had to think about it, Joker is who he is. Giannis, it would have been very close between him and Giannis.
Early in the year, first couple months, the odds-on favorite was Tatum. Right, he was coming out the gate hot based on what I was reading this afternoon.
Smoking last night. Whew.
Right, and so then again in the month of March they said that Joker and Denver had a up and down March, let's say, right, while the whole time Joel's just been playing. Okay, everybody was asking for this Los Angeles Laker Golden State series. We're in it now. So JR, from a series perspective, because first game will be over by the time folks watch this, what are you expecting from this series and who do you think will win it?
I really think Golden State's going to win it. I think they will win. I think that LeBron, you talked about him playing a lot of minutes. I think he can't do that. If this game goes any kind of length of a series, he's going to be tired. And I'm hoping my man, Anthony Glass Davis, stays healthy.
Freddie, can Los Angeles win this series?
To be honest with you, I actually think they can. And the reason why I think they can is because no one on Golden State outside of Steph has been great. LeBron wasn't necessarily great. He had one good game, the 2020 game, but he wasn't great the entire series. Now, I think he's going to have to be great in the other guys. Because in that last season, honestly, I thought he looked a little bit tired. I thought he looked a little lethargic. I think Wiggins has been a solid, consistent player for them in the previous series against Sacramento. And I think he will continue to be. But LeBron has to be great to match Steph.
What I saw in the Memphis series, I saw times where LeBron was tired. And he made what I call tired errors, I read some. No. I saw him on. He was talking about this on ESPN the other day. In between games, all he wants to do now is sleep. Really, that's the number one focus for him. He said is getting his rest. He goes through, cold tub, does all those things. But I don't know if a 7-game series, kind of going to your point, Freddie, is going to work for the Lakers because the others have to be really good. They don't have to be great, but collectively, I need really good from them. And I said this also, Golden State will keep anybody else in the series because they're going to throw the ball away more than anybody else. So they'll go on their little runs, but they will give it back to Los Angeles often. And if they can take advantage of that, and I also think that I keep forgetting my man's name. I think he can be the difference maker for Los Angeles defensively.
Dennis Schroeder.
Thank you. I think defensively, when I'm starting to think now how I would match up, because Steph's just going to run all around and do all those. You need somebody who can do that. Just staying with him and staying low on him so he doesn't get to raise it up. I think Dennis can do a good job of that.
Not to mention, he can pick. He's the probably only player outside of maybe Vanderbilt that can actually pick someone up and pick them up at 90 and take them 94 feet.
Gone. And the series that I'm actually really focused on, no more than any other, though, is watching the Nuggets. We talked about this earlier. We were like, what are they going to do? I think they're playing really, really well. And most recently, we also talked about Freddie's lack of depth, right, that Phoenix has. Now you got CP3 going out with a groin injury. And they're down 0-2 right now. I'm going to start with you, JR. Can they come back against Denver? I mean, is it possible?
Anything's possible, but
Kevin Garnett.
Anything's possible. but like you said, you're missing CP3 now. And who else do they have to step up?
He's out games 3 through 5. They posted that right before we came on.
Oh, I know. I saw it.
Not to cut you off, GR, but 3 through 5, he's out.
He's done for the next 3 games.
So
and that puts an awful lot of pressure on Booker, don't it, JR? I mean, you
Yes, it puts a lot of pressure on Booker. I know he had a good game, even though the score was what it was. He played very well, but can he do that consistently?
Michael Porter Jr. is there. Great. Yeah. Uncle Jeff, who me and JR know, he ended our season back in 2004 and needs to get a haircut. Uncle Jeff is there, but Murray is the guy. Remember, he got hurt a couple years ago in the playoff. Yeah. I think he's been playing lights out, and I'm telling you, man, I can't decide whether it's Joker doing his thing against Ayton or if Ayton just don't know what the hell he's doing down there. But when Joker goes in the post, he's just manhandling 22. Get out of my way. And up and under and just doing everything with that. Now, based on those that are left, I think they're the odds-on favorite, or at least the team to beat, whether Los Angeles comes out of the other series or Golden State. If these guys sweep, which is a real possibility.
Yeah.
And Freddie made the thing on the group chat. He basically was asking the question, did Phoenix overinvest in going and getting Kevin Durant? Because we knew it was an all or nothing proposition. And everybody's worried about whether Kevin could stay healthy. Turns out Chris Paul can't stay healthy.
Well, we knew that. I say, you know what? Put a bow on it. It's a wrap. They're going home in 5.
The others collectively, JR, they're banging, man. They're banging. Gordon will take it to you in the same way that Giannis does. Gordon wants to finish at the rim. Love that about him. So I think that it's going to be interesting all around in the East and the West. Last thing that we got for you guys today, recently everybody knows that Memphis is cutting ties with Dillon Brooks. Okay, so I'm going to ask you 2 questions, or a 2-part question. 1, are you surprised that they cut him? And then 2, what are your thoughts on that little jab that they took? Under no circumstances would you come back? I'll start with you, Freddie. Did you see it coming, and what were your thoughts on it?
I didn't see it coming because honestly, I feel like they're blaming him for the loss, right? But this is something that I did not know until I was reading a little bit about it more today. And he was the longest tenured player on the team. So he's the senior man, right? So he is by default, even though he's a young guy, he's the vet, right? And when you don't have anybody else stepping up, you had Brandon Clark, and then you had Steven Adams out. He was trying to be the enforcer. I think they're overreacting personally.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that whole poke the bear and I don't regret it or whatever, but no one else was stepping up saying anything.
I don't know, man. JR, did you see it coming? And what are your thoughts about the jab that Memphis took at the end?
Yeah, I didn't see it coming as well. I agree with what Freddie's saying, but I think there's another side to it as well. I think that they may not want that type of those types of actions happening. I think that if they didn't want it, they should have took him to the side and said, cool it. you know. And maybe they're making room for some money, I mean, making some room to try to acquire somebody. He's the guy that they figure he's the easiest to get rid of. And like Freddie said, they're blaming him, but they're using that as an excuse, I think. You know what I'm saying?
They are. I think JR's 100% right. You as an organization, as a front office, saw his behavior. And to me, your lack of action against that behavior is a form of condoning that behavior, right or wrong. So you, at a minimum, you have a conversation now that the season is over. We're not going to tolerate that. And if you, Dillon, have a problem with it, because this is your year to go, then leave. But I think that it makes Memphis look bad because you said nothing up to this point. You allowed him to come out of his mouth all kinds of wrong, stop going to press conferences, cost the organization fines, et cetera, et cetera. And now you want to make, he's not the reason that y'all lost. Let's be clear about that, Memphis. There's a bevy of things that could contribute to that. I don't like the jab at the end. Yeah. Seems like you're making it personal. Under no circumstances will you come back here. Oh, so now, Memphis, you want to be a tough guy. You could have been a tough guy 6, 7, 8 weeks ago or earlier. If you look online, there's a compilation of all the different questionable calls that Dillon Brooks has had, not just against LA, Freddie, but against other people and some of the things that he's done. It wasn't that long ago that he ended the season for the kid at Golden State. Remember? Under the basket. Was it Peyton Jr.? I mean, clocked him, and he missed a season for that. So the other question, and we don't have time to address it today, but now on the Sports Wire, there are some, Shaquille O'Neal is one of them, that says he may not play in the league next year.
Yeah. Well,
because he said, what does he do? His body of work. He's a good defender, but you got to ask yourself now, does the non-basketball stuff, can you absorb that with whatever he is if he's a Joe average player? I don't know. I think he ends up on a team. Somebody's going to need that, but you got to have the right type of coach. And I don't think that Taylor, I'm not blaming Taylor, but I think it starts and stops with the coach in terms of how, the way that your team operates. And at some point, and JR said this last week, you haven't won anything. Shut up and win something. And now that you've lost, you got all this negative attention on you. So I hope the young man bounces back. I think that he has to understand you're not qualified to be a villain, young man. You just not. You're trying to play hard. You're not hard. Everybody sees through you, and you have nothing to back it up. You're in the league because you're talented. Use that talent to move forward. Sounds like I just did. I got something to say, didn't it? Y'all saw it. Y'all saw that. So that's kind of all we got time for today. I wanted to kind of go over where we are with the playoffs, and there's some real exciting developments that have taken place in the league. Most importantly, we wanted to congratulate, Joel Embiid on his award finally after 3 seasons of trying to get there. Before we go, JR, you got anything to say today?
No, sir. Not a thing, man.
Looked like he was thinking about it, didn't he, Freddie? Freddie, how about you, buddy? You got anything to say today?
I could have a lot of things to say, but I'll save it for next week.
We'll save it for next week. That means that what that is in the business, you guys, that's called a tease, because Freddie knows, like, after we tape next week, he's going to be going on his trip for a while. So he's basically going to drop a little knowledge on you cats next week. So I need everybody to make sure you come back and see exactly what his I got something to say is next week. That's all we got time for today. Really glad you guys are rocking with us. Hopefully everybody's enjoying not just the playoffs, but Major League Baseball is underway. As we're speaking right now, my Yankees came out the gate hot, and they're not hot anymore. Congratulations to Bryce Harper. Came back from Tommy John surgery. He is now playing, just DHing. They don't want him throwing, but he came back really, really quickly. So good for him and the Philadelphia Phillies. So till next week, everybody be good. Have a great week and an even better weekend. We'll see you next time.
Peace.